Let's go to the history. Hey everyone, welcome back to History Hijinks. Today we're talking about an exciting period in Lithuania's story, namely how they went from declaring independence in 1918 to dealing with some serious international drama in the late 1930s. Basically, Lithuania's roller coaster ride before World War II. Hold on tight. So, quick recap. After the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth fell apart in 1795, Lithuania was like that kid who's sent to a new school and has to find their place. And in Lithuania's case, it was controlled by the Russian Empire, like a long, unpopular family reunion you couldn't escape. In 1917, during World War I, the Germans held a conference in Vilnius, demanding Lithuanians declare loyalty, like that friend who asks, "Hey, do you love me?" but then doesn't give you the actual answer you want. Despite their best efforts to be loyal to Germany, Lithuanians secretly wanted their independence. Kind of like secretly wishing you could finally claim your own Netflix account. So, in December 1917, the Lithuanian Council declared their independence, albeit under German protection because, well, losing the empire stinks. Then in February 1918, they went full rebel mode and signed the Act of Independence, proclaiming Lithuania as a democratic republic. No more bossing around from Berlin or Moscow. This was their time to shine. Meanwhile, the Germans, not being big fans of Lithuanian independence, tried to keep them under control, like trying to hold on to your favorite childhood toy, by supporting a guy named Mindaugas II as a fake king. Spoiler: he never actually moved in. Now let's talk about the crazy stuff happening between wars. Lithuania's roller coaster wasn't just about declaring independence. They also had plans to revive a grand old state, the great, mythical, lost Grand Duchy of Lithuania. But Russian and Polish ambitions kept throwing obstacles like annoying younger siblings. During this period, the Lithuanian language got banned from schools in 1864. Talk about a serious case of language censorship. Lithuanians fought back, smuggling books from East Prussia, kind of like sneaking snacks into a movie theater, because they refused to give up their language, culture, and memes. I mean, books fast forward to the early 1900s, and Lithuanian leaders started their own version of a cultural comeback, like a sports team rallying after a tough season. They printed newspapers like Aušra, The Dawn, trying to wake up the nation from Slavic and German influences. It was like fighting to keep your playlist alive in a sea of Russian and Polish radio hits, and then, in 1922, Lithuania finally grabbed the Klaipėda region, kind of like claiming the last slice of pizza, making Lithuania's only access to the Baltic Sea. But that region was a hot mess. Most people there were Germans or Memelandish. Fun word, right? But Lithuanian nationalists were thrilled because, hey, more territory, more pride. By the late 1930s, Lithuania was feeling pretty good. Population growing, education expanding, culture thriving. But all wasn't smooth sailing. Smetona, their leader, was a tough guy, like the altogether serious principal who made sure everything stayed just so, even if that meant banning politeness. And when the Nazis came knocking in 1934, Lithuania had to play a tricky game, like walking on a tightrope while juggling. They suppressed some anti-German activities, but the whole region was quickly getting pulled into the storm clouds of war, a storm Lithuania couldn't really dodge. So, after the Soviet Union's grip loosened in 1990, Lithuania was like that one really determined kid in class who finally stands up and says, "Enough is enough. I want to be my own boss." On March 11th, 1990, they officially snatched their independence, like grabbing the remote control after years of being told what to do. Vytautas Landsbergis? Yeah, he became the head of state, a real Lithuanian hero, basically the Kevin McAllister of independence, standing unarmed against tanks, the iconic moment in Vilnius when a citizen faced down a Soviet tank, like saying, "Not today, Soviet." But things weren't all sunshine and rainbows. The Soviets slapped sanctions, threatened, and even blockaded Lithuania in April 1990, like trying to break your gaming console right when you're about to win. But Lithuanians held strong and kept the government running. Imagine a tiny country with a big attitude. Then came January 1991, the infamous January events. Soviet tanks rolled in, trying to take Vilnius TV tower, kind of like an overzealous Wi-Fi hacker trying to kill your internet. Except the Lithuanian people fought back, and tragically, 14 civilians lost their lives. Still, they refused to back down and the world caught on, thanks to amateur radio operators relaying updates across the globe, because who needs CNN when you've got ham radio? Next stop, international recognition. Over 90% of Lithuanians voted for independence in the referendum. Moscow? Yeah, they tried to muscle in, but Lithuania said, "We're not just a rebellious teenager anymore, we're an independent nation." By September 1991, Lithuania finally joined the United Nations and was officially recognized. Score one for tiny but mighty fast forward to the 90s and early 2000s. Lithuania was busy rebuilding, modernizing, and aiming for the big leagues. Their old party, the Communist Party of Lithuania, rebranded itself as the Democratic Labour Party, kind of like switching from a bad relationship to a much better one. They moved towards a free market economy, sold off government stuff like it was Black Friday, and managed to avoid the Russian oligarch drama Russia had. And let's talk currency. Lithuania is adopting the euro in 2015. That's right, they finally joined the Eurozone, making it official. Lithuania is now Euro-approved. It's like getting a shiny new badge. Officially part of the cool European club. But it hasn't all been smooth sailing when the 2008 financial crisis hit. Lithuania's economy shrank by 15%. Ouch. Many Lithuanians left the country in search of better opportunities, causing their population to shrink faster than a YouTube video going viral. Today, Lithuania is joining big global clubs: OECD in 2018, NATO summit in Vilnius in 2023, like a small champion showing up to the big table of world powers. And they have their first female president, Dalia Grybauskaitė, who served from 2009 to 2019. Proof that Lithuania isn't just about history. They're about breaking glass ceilings, too. So Lithuania's story, once part of a mighty empire, then a puppet of superpowers, has turned into a tale of resilience, modern greatness, and staying true to their roots. If you love this adventure, hit that like button, subscribe for more epic history smashes, and keep tuning in for the next big story.